Hi, my name is Renee Rizzo. This will be a teacher facing video which will guide you through my adaptation of a portion of a living environment, Unit 7, Day 18. What's next for human evolution? Which I have elected to break down into two smaller parts to accommodate the unique learning needs of students in alternate assessment settings. So, this particular part is centered around what's next for human evolution. The focus question: how can we explore possible predictions for the future of human evolution? So, in the original lesson within the Teach Hub, this question was really expanded. I shortened it to simplify it for our students. The standards that I believe were addressed in this lesson: the next gen standard, integrate and evaluate multiple sources of information presented in diverse formats and media, e.g., quantitative data, video, and multimedia, in order to address a question or solve a problem. The DLM essential element that I believe was addressed: analyze information presented in different media on related topics to answer questions or solve problems. These standards are both at the 11th through 12th grade level. So the original lesson had two videos embedded in it. In this particular lesson, I have chosen to focus on one video because I think it's important for students to narrow down what they're focusing on at one time. This particular video is the YouTube video, The Future of Human Evolution. I chose to introduce the following vocabulary to students to increase the likelihood that they will comprehend the lesson. The vocabulary is natural selection, the process by which those with better traits adapted to their environment tend to survive long enough to pass on their traits. I developed multiple choice questions based on the video. What did human adults become able to digest relatively recently? A, apple juice, B, soda, C, milk. So I would definitely focus with your students on the word adults in this question, because in the past, only infants were able to digest milk. But this video went into how relatively recently in our evolutionary history, adults have been able to digest C, milk. Next question: how do researchers think women may be changing in the future? A, they are becoming shorter and heavier. B, they are becoming taller and heavier. Or C, they are becoming taller and lighter. Well, according to the video, the answer is A. They are becoming shorter and heavier. And this is because, for whatever reason, researchers have found that shorter and heavier women are more likely to be successful in reproduction. The next question: how are human brains predicted to change? A, they will become larger. B, they will become smaller. Or C, they will not change at all. Well, this is an interesting question because in the video it went into how in the past, in our evolutionary past, brains have typically become larger. But in the future, it is predicted that our brains will actually become smaller. The next question: what is beneficial about a smaller brain? A, it is more efficient. B, it is more attractive. C, it is better for escaping predators. So you can definitely use process of elimination for your students with this question. So B, it's not really important for a brain to be attractive because a brain is really a functional organ. It doesn't matter how it looks, it's inside of our heads, right? And C, it is better for escaping predators. Well, actually, the opposite, right? In the past, our larger brains, as we evolved, helped us better to survive our natural environments. But as technology and modern medicine, um, and things like that become more prevalent, and we become less likely to need to escape predators in our natural environment, it is more important that our brain is more efficient, meaning it needs less energy in order to survive. Our next question: why else might humans change in the future? Because of migration, which you can define for your students as movement from place to place. B, because of changes in diets. Or C, because of genetic engineering. Well, the answer that they go over in the video is C, because of genetic engineering. Because of advances in technology, people are now more able than ever to control the genes that continue into the future of the human race. And just a side note, in developing these questions, I was using the PowerPoint online version. So these images populated automatically as an option for me to use, and I chose to use them to support student comprehension. So, as a conclusion, you can discuss with your students what have you learned about human evolution in this lesson. And you want to ensure that student answers are actually tied to what they learned. So, if they start coming up with things that are not really tied to this lesson, you can go back through the PowerPoint. So, you can remind students about natural selection, about human adults becoming more able to digest milk relatively recently. You can go over how women are becoming shorter and heavier, and how brains are predicted to become smaller and more efficient. You can also go over the impact of genetic engineering and the fact that we have more control than ever over what genes are passed on to future generations. So, just for review, this was a teacher facing video which guided you through my adaptation of a portion of Living Environment, Unit 7, Day 18. What's next for human evolution? Which I elected to break down into two smaller parts to accommodate the unique learning needs of students in alternate assessment settings. This particular part was based around the YouTube video, The Future of Human Evolution. Thank you for watching.